Hello, friends. Just finished up the second B main. How's everyone doing? Hope you got a chance to tune into some of this stuff all day. Lots of racing all day. Obviously, we're going to get into a crap load of track work now. You saw this thing take rubber here the last couple of B mains, which is obviously not a good way to start the night. A lot of stuff to talk about, though, today. We just got that second B main complete. Kaylee Bryson, first woman to ever make a Chili Bowl feature event. That's incredible. Awesome story for her. Hopefully she's able to make it into something and get herself a good finish. If you're in the chat, let me know where you're watching from. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Figure we'll talk for a little while here. We'll see how long it takes him to get all of the track work done here. But we'll go for a little while anyway and get everybody tuned up and ready for the day. And I don't know about you if you're in your Chili Bowl picks. I was looking pretty good here, but I had 10 cars between the two B mains, and I got 3 guys out of those 10 cars into the feature. So not looking so hot right now. So my Chili Bowl picks right now that are in the feature: Tanner Thorson, Rico Abreu, Christopher Bell, Buddy Kofoid, Chase Johnson, Colby Copeland, and Shane Golobic. So hopefully I can get some good points out of those guys and maybe move up into the money. I was 98th before the C main, and I believe it pays down to 72nd place. So the big conversation, and I already see that a little bit in the chat right now, is this Mav TV flow thing that's happening right now. Obviously, Mav is taking a beating tonight about some of the stuff, the issues with Mav TV Plus and some of the coverage issues. So I certainly see and understand, and I agree with some of it. If you're inside the building, if you've ever been to the Chili Bowl, you will understand how big of a pain in the butt it is once you get past the D's and then the live TV coverage takes over. Things just kind of seem to slow way down, and you start early in the morning and the program just rolls, and it's like everything is so efficient during the week as well. But as soon as that TV coverage goes live, it just completely changes everything. And so it's like, as good as it is that it's live on television, it just kind of kills the experience inside the building. And then on top of that, you've got obviously some of the issues with the coverage. So, but I think Flow Racing did a nice job all week. All the different guys on the coverage there. There's a few issues here and there, which you certainly expect when you're going to be on the air that long, but they've done a nice job all week, I think. So, into interviews right now on Mav TV. And I'm sure they're going to tear that track completely up after what happened in those B mains. You saw some rubber, some tires that looked pretty ugly there towards the end. So, but second B main transfer cars: Kaylee Bryson, Blake Hahn, CJ Leary, Shane Golobic, Corey Day, Dylan Welch. How about Dylan Welch grabbing a feature transfer spot, and Jonathan Beeson? In the first B main, Zeb Wise, T-Mez Copeland, Wyndham, Chase Johnson, Tim Buckwalter, Brady Bacon all transfer in. It's hard to keep up with all the stuff in the tweet. I don't live stream very often, and there's a lot of stuff in here. I see Andrew from PA, welcome. Andrew's going with Rico. Biff, big pot of chili, I love it. Middle of cold Michigan from Bob. I like Thorson in this too. He's been fast all week. My issue with Thorson is, like Hebrew Hillbilly says, with his aggression in traffic. I wonder if he's just too aggressive sometimes, and it's with the 55 lapper, you just can't burn your stuff off too quick. AJ watching from Ohio, welcome. And earlier we got the top 10 set in the pole shuffle. Christopher Bell starting on the pole. Tanner Thorson is going to start second. Rico third. Justin Grant fourth. Buddy Kofoid fifth. Tanner Carrick sixth. Kyle Larson seventh. Kevin Thomas Jr. in eighth. Tyler Courtney ninth. And Stenhouse will start in 10th. So those are all of your feature starters. I saw some people back and forth, too, about whether they like the pole shuffle or not. What do you guys think about the pull shuffle? I always thought the pull shuffle was like something everybody loved. It's certainly a better way to set the lineup than, you know, pulling numbers out of a hat or something. It's a little more entertaining, and it provides a little bit of on-track action and get those guys an opportunity to get some track time before the races and stuff. But I like the pull shuffle. I think it's fun. I think it's entertaining. It's a nice kind of breakup of the day, especially like when you're going to kind of have that big break between the D's and the C's before the TV comes on. It's something fun to get out there and watch. Whoa, Andrew. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely think the shuffle adds a little something there. I don't mind it at all. And if you go back, the shuffle was actually interesting. There was kind of some interesting moments in there. Early in that first race, you kind of had some CMR on CMR violence there between Stenhouse and Tyler Courtney. Both of those NASCARs kind of going at it there. And Larson, I don't know about Larson this year. He's just been so good at everything. He just doesn't seem to quite have the speed this year, and you saw that on his prelim night with Kofoid. You kind of saw that tonight in the pole shuffle. Those guys are obviously using a new chassis. They're away from the King chassis that they won the last two with. This new chassis is an Eagle that's kind of based on Silva's, I guess, designs or something, but he just doesn't kind of seem to have the pace, and he's going to start 7th tonight, which is the furthest back he started in a while. Larson started, he was in that C-Main in 2017, and then before that in 2016, he went 22nd to 5th in the feature. But like the years that he won and stuff, he was starting 3rd, 2nd, right around in there. So I think it's going to be tough, especially with the group of guys you have in front of him, for him to come all the way from 7th to win this thing. And you haven't seen guys come from that far back in these last few years to win the race. It's usually kind of been anywhere from 1st to like 4th is where these guys are coming from to win it. And Thorson, man, like he was in that first race and went all the way through to the end. And I mean, he damn near took the pole there, racing with Bell there at the end. Super good stuff there from Thorson. He's definitely going to be fast. There's no doubt about that. Tyler, appreciate it, man. Thank you. And Bell seems to be different this year. Like, obviously, the last 2 years he didn't win. Got beat by Larson, but he was in the boat car. And the 3 Chili Bowls he won, he was in a KKM car. Now he's back in the KKM car. Certainly think he's looked really fast all week as well. Yeah, Steven, I'm not sure about, it's like Silva always does such a nice job. And they've had multiple opportunities kind of through the week here to make adjustments on it, but I just feel like they're off just like a little bit. Just a little bit. We'll see, though. Maybe they get that thing tuned up and ready to roll. Justin Grant, I know a lot of people picked him this week. And he spun in that final pole shuffle race, and he's going to start 4th. Definitely a little work to do with Rico and Thorson and Bell kind of out front there. We'll just kind of have to see, too, how this track goes. Checking out the MAV TV broadcast to see where they are. They're re-showing stuff from earlier in the week, if you're keeping up on that. Yeah, 420, I definitely agree with you that Silva plays the long game. And obviously, like I said, you got to have your car good for the end. You can't just burn everything off in the beginning. 55 laps is a long way to go. But we'll see what they're able to get done here. Yeah, Stock Car Quick Takes. We'll see what Kaylee can get done here. I mean, she's already made history just by making the feature. Even if she, finishes 24th, she's going to do something that nobody's ever done before. No female driver has ever done before. So she's already kind of ahead of it. I think anything else is just kind of gravy at this point. I do like Bell tonight. I'm curious to see what Kofoid can get done starting in the top 5. I picked him earlier in the week when we did our preview show with the Passing Points guys. I picked Kofoid. And I think, you know, he just keeps getting better and better and better in the midget. And, you know, you saw what he was able to do beating Larson on this prelim night. Yeah, it looks like Jared says that they have a free stream up right now. Maybe maptvplus.com has it for free. So if you're wanting to tune in, maybe that's something you can jump over there and be able to watch for free. Bob talking about lap traffic. Lap traffic is definitely always a factor when it comes to the Chili Bowl. No doubt about that. Who can get through it? You know, how many cautions there are, if it's going to be able to take the leaders out of lap traffic. And then the ongoing conversation, too, about the screen in turn 1. And I know Matt Ward said that they're going to move the screen for next year, that it'll still be in the building, still be, you can still, like, the fans can still watch it, but it shouldn't be in a position where the drivers are going to be able to see it as well and maybe make some of those blocks. So hopefully that will be less of a topic of conversation going forward. I know that the Chili Bowl isn't the only place, too, that that's a topic of conversation. So, did you guys tune in all day? Are you just tuning in now to the Chili Bowl stuff? Because there was some pretty good alphabet runs early in the day. We had Sammy go. He actually tied the record with the most mains at 6. We had Klassmeyer go, I think, 5. We had Jack Routson go 4 or 5 as well. So a bunch of guys actually were able to make a little hay. It sucked. Sammy went end to the eye and then had mechanical trouble. And it's kind of his, like, worst Sunday ever at the Chili Bowl. Kind of not something you expect from those Swindell cars inside the building. And CV didn't have a great day either. And then Tucker Klassmeyer end to the J. And he got taken out by his teammate. Steven Snyder Jr. got over a right rear in front of him and slid up the track. And Klassmeyer didn't really have anywhere to go. But a few guys made a few runs today. Did I say Sunday? I meant Saturday. Sorry, Denny. I wrote Sunday down in my notes for some reason about Sammy. Alex watching from Australia, started at 2 a.m. Took a little nap from the J through the H mains. I love it. Yeah, Troy, obviously that where the track goes is always kind of where the big question about the Chili Bowl feature. I remember the first year I went, and obviously this is going to be probably the case most often, but you start on the bottom and then it's like how quickly that top comes in. And then once it comes in, who can figure it out the quickest and try to make hay? Sorry, Denny. My bad. Charles asks thoughts on the young kids running this year. I think the young kids have been really, really impressive. You know, you had Brent Cruz and Ryan Timms. Gavin Boschel just missed out on a feature transfer. Corey Day is in. So obviously it's tough to argue that these kids don't deserve to be in the building when they're running up in really good mains, and a kid like Corey Day making a feature. I think they did a really nice job all week. I wish I would have picked them a little better in my pool because I had Timms. Do I think Flo will ever get to cover the whole event? I don't know. It's like Mav TV being able to show it. It's kind of a feather in the cap of the Chili Bowl that they can say that they're on live television. And I just feel like the amount of money that it would take for Flo to pay for that, I'm just not sure that would happen. What's crazy about the MAV TV announcers is, like, Rob Klepper was the main midget announcer or main USAC announcer on Flow for the last couple of years. Like, I don't know that you'll find somebody as who is more knowledgeable than Rob Klepper is about this stuff. I think it's the other guy, some of the pit reporting stuff that doesn't go well. But I mean, Klepper knows all of these people for sure. And obviously some of the production issues and it sucks too, because where those guys are, I don't believe that they're in a position where they can see the racetrack. Like when they're on that stage, they're actually behind the grandstand. So when they're calling the action, they're basically relying on whatever they see on the monitors. So it's like, it's tough for them to be able to call it when they can't see everything. And with the flow guys, they're in that announcer's booth that's just outside of turn 4 there. And I know it's a little difficult for those guys to see just because that booth sits down kind of from where the racetrack is, but at least they have some eyeballs on the racetrack. Yeah, Mike, I kind of agree about MAV TV filming, but this isn't new. Like MAV TV, there have been issues a lot of years between MAV TV, and it's this part of the night that really hurts the week as a whole, I think. And as those of us that are watching at home, and like what happened last year where the feature didn't roll off until, what was it, like 1 or 1:30 or some crazy like that. It just kills the event when things run so efficiently Monday through Friday and then all day Saturday until you get to a certain point, and it just seems like things kind of go off the rails come the C mains. And if you've seen like Jim Trado tonight when he's doing some of his pit reporting, there's like camera connection issues, which is super weird. So I wonder too, like with MAV TV, how many people actually have MAV TV? Because it's like you can say that it's on live television, you can say that it's on cable, but I know for a lot of people that MAV isn't part of their normal cable package, so you're going to have to spend more. And then you see that every year on social media where people are looking to try to find ways to watch MAV TV. Like they have to go, find those free trials or different places where they can kind of tack it onto their existing cable or if they're cord cutters, YouTube Plus or whatever they've got that to try to be able to find that. And like there's been the issues with the website tonight and things like that. So I don't know. Yeah, Living Missouri says it'll be on Flow on the replay, I think tomorrow morning, they said. So if you're not able to watch it live tonight, you'll certainly be able to jump back in tomorrow morning. And if you've been paying attention on the MAV TV broadcast, especially when they go to the hot pits, you'll see the Flow Racing commentators are still in there working. So it's like they're not doing it live, but they're still in there kind of, not pretending like they're doing it live, but they're doing all of the same things, getting ready for that recording. So, and what you won't see the MAV TV broadcast in the Flow stuff. It'll be the Flow, the Flow people doing a lot of those things. So, well, who you guys picking tonight? Drop in the chat. Let me know who you think's gonna win this thing. I really feel like you've probably got to be in the top 4, 5, or 6-ish to really have a chance at this thing. We can go look at I have this little website called DIRTRACKR.com where I have a whole bunch of stats about this stuff too, so we can take a look at some numbers as well. Let me just go log in here and I can give you a rundown about some stuff here. So, win count per start position. So here's the situation that I have with my stats. So I've got all of the feature Saturdays, all 35 of them in the database. But there's a certain point where I don't have start position. So I can't give you all that, but I have back quite a few years. And of the data that I do have, we've had 4 wins come from the pole, 10 wins come from second, 4 from third, 3 from fourth, and then 1 each from 5th and 6th. No winners from 7th and 8th. We've had 1 from 9th, 2 from 10th, and 1 from 16th. But if you see that the majority of those wins are coming from the top 4. So I'm guessing you're going to have to probably be, you're going to be Bell, Thorson, Rico, Grant, maybe Kofoid with an outside shot there in 5th. Let's see, who's everybody picking here? Larson, Abreu, Rico, Thorson, Rico, Bell, Kofoid. Biff says buddy, buddy, buddy. Ben wants to know how much one of these cars costs. I mean, it really depends. I mean, you can spend many tens of thousands of dollars on a midget if you would like. You can spend a little bit of money on a midget also. There are certain people out there that have midgets for sale and engines for sale. You can go get a Ecotech Chevy engine and throw it in there, you know, out of a junkyard probably for a few $100. That's always the issue with this race, right? Is it the Chili Bowl only pays $10,000 to win, and you've got people out there spending close to that, sometimes more, to rent a car. So you're going to spend $10,000 to rent a car for a race that only pays $10,000 to win. Landon asks if I'm able to stream the race. I am not able to stream the race. I would get in big trouble for that. And I know some of these people because I worked in the industry for a long time, and I don't want to field those phone calls. Do I think the Stanton is equal to the Toyota? I think in the right instances. I mean, you see that with the CMR cars. I mean, they're running SR11s. I mean, obviously, I think the Toyota is the piece to have. You've seen everybody kind of migrate that direction. You know, the boat cars are with Toyotas, and obviously the KKM cars and Dave Mack. I cannot believe that there are 100 people in this thing right now. My thing says that I have 100 viewers right now. Is that showing up on the screen? Yep, there it is right there. Just popped up. Holy cow. Yeah, the payout of the Chili Bowl is always a topic of conversation every single year when this event comes around. It still only pays $10,000 to win. And obviously, you would think that there's room in there for it to pay a lot more than that. And it's paid $10,000 to win for quite a while. I definitely think it would add a little something if they were able to bump that up a little bit. Dawson asks, is it not on Flow Racing? The live show tonight is not on Flow Racing. You'll be able to watch the replay tomorrow on Flow Racing. Jonathan asks, is Bell still in? Yes, Bell is still in. He's on the pole. And Jared says $100,000 minimum. I don't know if it should be $100,000 for a midget race, but I agree that it definitely needs to be more than it is. I mean, you would hope $25,000 at least. Charles asks, any insight into why Seabell left Boat? I thought they were tight. I don't think they're as tight as they were. I think that's part of the issue. And Boat was actually housing all of Bell's stuff, and that's not the case anymore. Bell doesn't even have the sprint car. And then Bell went ahead and got his own shop for all the micro stuff. It's kind of been rumored for a while that that split had happened. And so kind of coming into this, you know, the Chili Bowl and kind of the indoor season, you know, what was Bell going to do? I don't see any reason why Bell would have gone anywhere but back to Keith. I see a lot of 50,000 to win, 30,000 to win, 50. Dawson wants to know, where can I watch? You can watch on Mav TV if you have that on your cable system or as part of your TV package. You can also watch on Mav TV Plus, which is their subscription service. I know some people are saying that the Mav TV stuff might be down or that they might be showing a free stream right now. So maybe go check that out, Mav TV or mavtvplus.com. Andrew wants to know why the Toyota motor is good in the midgets, but seems to be struggling with the 410s. I don't think they're struggling with the 410s. I just think that they're they haven't kind of rushed into it. They haven't like kind of thrown everything into it right now. They've kind of slowly kind of worked their way into the 410 stuff. I think you'll see them get there, but there's obviously a ton of competition with the 410 stuff too. Like there are some engine builders out there that build just some absolutely insane 410 engines. And so it'll take Toyota some time to kind of get that stuff up to speed. And I think now with Kerry coming in there and Paul Baines coming over from Tarleton to work with Roth and that deal, I think they'll come up to speed pretty quickly this year. I would not be shocked to see, you know, Madsen maybe win some races, a couple of races with that thing. William asks if Sammy is in or out. Sammy is out. Sammy went out in the I main today. He actually started the day really early this morning in the N main. He went 7 to 2nd in the N, 13th to 4th in the M, 11 to 2nd in the L, 12th to 3rd in the K, 11th to 4th in the J, and then he finished 15th in the I. He had mechanical issues and was out of that race. Tyler wants to know how single lug practice in NASCAR is going. It's going. It is definitely going. We still got a few weeks though before we figure that out. Smoke to Mopar. What about shots still on the Ford? Well, the smoke isn't going to Mopar. They've got the Mopar connection for the NHRA stuff. But obviously Stewart Haas still a Ford program. And I would imagine you'll probably still see Ford vehicles towing around stuff, the trailers for the All-Stars and Ford vehicles at Eldora. Ryan wants to know how many starters I have in the A-main for Lonnie's pool. Not enough. I have, what do I have? 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 7. I have Tanner Thorson, Rico Abreu, Christopher Bell, Buddy Kofoid, Chase Johnson, Colby Copeland, Shane Golobic. Not enough. I was 98th before the C's. I was only 50 points out of the money, but I don't think I'm going to get in the money with so few guys. Greg says he's from New Zealand. Welcome, Greg. He likes Kofoid. Yeah, I agree, Greg. It sucks that a lot of those guys weren't able to go down under and race this year like we've seen in the past. We had Macedo went down there. He ran some sprint car stuff, but I know New Zealand has been super locked down, and some of the stuff at Western Springs just hasn't kind of been the same this year. Jeff Copeland says Larson buys straight away tonight. Ryan has 7. 7 for me, 6 for non-wing. Oh, who was 81st after the C-mains, yeah. I don't know if Lonnie will update again before the feature. I'll have to go look at Twitter to see if he's going to update again. Oh, wait, here we go. Chili Bowl pool update before the feature. I appear to be out of the top 100. Let's see. Yeah, I'm definitely out of the top 100 here. Lame. That sucks. Oh well. We gave her a hell of a shot. Got bodied. Jared does want Emmett to open his books. Unfortunately, we will not see that as the Chili Bowl and the Tulsa Shootout are private events. I'm not going to stream through the whole A main. I just figured I would stream in between the B's and the A. Just we could jump on and talk for a little bit, and then we'll shut her down and let everybody watch the feature tonight. And then we'll be back on Monday. If this is your first time here, like and subscribe to the channel. We do this all the time. We have the daily show Monday through Friday. You can get that on the YouTube channel or wherever you get podcasts. We do 8 to 10 to 12 minutes every day, dirt racing updates. We do conversations episodes periodically. I've done 56 of those where we talk to all sorts of different dirt racing personalities. And check out the website, DIRTRACKR.com. You can find updated news there all day long. The news there updates every 15 minutes throughout the day. There's the analytics section. There's a ton of stats and results and things in there. You can find the streaming schedule daily there on the Watch Tonight page. There is dirt racing podcast there, dirt racing YouTube channels. There's all kinds of good stuff at DIRTRACKR.com. How long till the feature starts? I'm not sure. I've got it back. I've got the MAV TV broadcast on over my shoulder here, and they're still doing interviews and stuff. It looks like there might be a few cars in the lanes, but I'm sure that they're still doing a ton of track work. So I'm sure they were going to tear that track up from the berm all the way to the wall. Timothy wants to know about Chris Ferguson having a good season. I'm a Fergie fan. Fergie's done a great job. Obviously, he's just down on resources, and when he shows up, he usually runs well. Do you think it will be Brad for another championship, or Gravel, or someone take it? I think until somebody proves us wrong, it's Brad right now as the favorite. I'm not convinced right now that Schatz can kind of bounce back in there. The one driver that I'm really interested to watch this year is Macedo. I definitely think Macedo, with the way he's improved and with Philip Dietz and just how well that those guys have done here lately, I think he could definitely be a championship threat next year. I like Gravel, but Gravel just doesn't seem to have the consistency. He can win the races and he can run up front, but he's got to be just a tick more consistent. Vince says I should do more streams. I would love to do more streams if I had more time. But once the NASCAR season starts here in a few weeks, I'm going to have dramatically less time to be able to do stuff like this. Oh, my cup team is in the chat. Petty GMS Motorsports. That is my PR guy for the for the team I work for, Bradley. Hi, Bradley. Thanks for the subscription, Greg. Appreciate it. Still doing interviews. Golubic with his youngin getting interviewed as we speak. Yeah, Tyler, I agree about Sheldon. Sheldon has a ton of speed, but I'm not sure that he's going to be able to win a championship either. People are asking what I do for Petty. When I'm not doing videos and talking about dirt racing, I am a tire changer in the NASCAR Cup Series. I change rear tires on Eric Jones' 43 car. That's why I'm able to do this. Because when you're a pit crew member, you have a lot of free time. Who's going to be hard charger tonight? Yeah, actually, you know what? I think I might be able to pull up the starting lineup and put it on the screen. Is this the full starting lineup? I believe it is. Let's do this. Where is the right button? Here we go. That is not the correct button. There we go. Let me fix this window really fast. I don't know why that did that. Here we go. Starting lineup for tonight's Chili Bowl. Christopher Bell on the pole, like we said. Jonathan Beeson bringing up the rear. Bell, Thorson, Rico, Grant, Kofoid, Carrick, Larson, KTJ, Tyler Courtney, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., as we said, from the pole shuffle. Zeb Wise is your first B-main transfer car. Him and Kaylee Bryson were the two B-main winners. Timez and Blake Hahn, Copeland and Leary, Chris Wyndham, Shane Golobic, Chase Johnson, Corey Day, Tim Buckwalter, Dylan Welch, Brady Bacon, Jonathan Beeson. So, hard charger. I could definitely see Golobic going to the front. I think Wyndham too. I feel like Wyndham is a little bit kind of looked over at the Chili Bowl. I know he's a great guy outdoors, but he doesn't seem to get talked about as much as some of the other guys do when it comes to the indoor stuff. But I definitely think Wyndham could go forward. Same with Leary. I'm curious to see, too, what Dylan Walsh is able to do. Dylan had kind of an unceremoniously not great exit last year. Jump back over to the main screen here. Were you part of Sheldon's Creed team in 2020? I was. That's why I have the flag right there. I changed tires on Sheldon's truck for 2 years. Living Missouri says, the Macedo is good but wild as well or nothing. I agree to a point. Macedo is definitely aggressive, but he's still very young, and he's still, like, I think we're going to be, in his third or fourth full season here. I think he'll calm down just a little bit, but I think that aggression, I think, could be really good for him. A couple of Brady Bacons for Hard Charger. Definitely not a bad pick there. I am pitting for Jones next year. I've been on the 43 since 2018. I actually worked at Petty way before that. I used to be at Petty back when Marcus Ambrose drove that, the 9 car as well. Blake Hahn. No idea how Dylan Day and Beeson made it. That was definitely a Wild B main. I have done stuff for Colleague in the past. We pitted for Colleague when Allmendinger won at Atlanta. When we got a couple of road course wins with Allmendinger as well. I pitted for a lot of teams. I've been a tire changer. This will be my 16th year, so I've been on a lot of teams. And if you don't know, also, if you're new to this, I actually worked for World Racing Group for a long time as well, working for the World of Outlaws. I started working for the Outlaws in 2013 and worked there all the way up through, June, I think, of last year? June of 2020, I think? Anyway, I worked for World Racing Group for 7 years. I was the web developer, Dirt Vision, and then, worldofoutlaws.com. Like, if you saw it online, I had a hand in it from 2013 to 2020, 2021. Did I ever race? I did not race. The only racing I've ever really done is drag racing, but not no circle track. My dad has raced dirt in his past, but grew up a race fan. My dad was an Earnhardt fan, and have been going to racetracks since I was 2 or 3 years old. Have I been to the Chili Bowl? I have been to the Chili Bowl twice. I went to the Chili Bowl in 2017. When I worked for the Outlaws, we had the Open Red podcast, and we brought Ross, my co-host, to the Chili Bowl in 2017 and actually got him a ride with Johnny Murdoch. And so I went to the Chili Bowl for that whole week, and then I went again in 2018 and shot photos from the infield. But I haven't been since 2018. That was the last time I went. Yes, Brandon Brown again in the Xfinity Series. I'm going to pit this year, and then we're going to do Grant Enfinger's truck, the 23 truck. Thoughts on the USAC and World Racing Group split for trying to have the best non-wing series? Honestly, my opinion is that is a move for streaming. Obviously, USAC is something that's happening on Flow, and the only way for Dirt Vision to attract some of that non-wing fan is for them to either try to get USAC, which isn't going to happen, or for them to start their own racing, which is basically what they did. So I think that's why you're seeing that happen. And it'll start small, but I think they'll build into it. Yeah, I worked at World Racing Group while I was also a tire changer. I basically worked 7 days a week for like a decade. How do I like the single lug? I don't like it. I have, for 15 years we did it one way, and now all of a sudden you're telling me we're doing it a different way. I liked the 5 lug thing. I think it was some difficulty in there. Not that this new way is less difficult, because there are some things to figure out, and we've definitely been working through some issues. But I don't know. I liked it the way we did it. Ben asked how old I am. I'm 38. I'm old. Is Courtney a top 5 wing driver? For me, he's not one of the best overall open wheel talents, though. I don't know that you could say Courtney is a top 5 guy. I feel like top 5 guys, you're probably looking at Sweet Gravel, Sweet Gravel, Shots, Macedo, and maybe Schuhart right now are probably the top 5. Do I like Knoxville Nationals or the Chili Bowl better? That's like asking people to pick which kid they like better. I'm not doing that. Can you say Larson is top 5 wing driver? I mean, he doesn't run full seasons. I know he's won big races. He won the Nationals. He won a Kings Royal. But no championships. Never ran a full winged season. Do you think Kane will make it through the season with Roth Motorsports? Kane is not driving for Roth Motorsports. Kane is driving for Kane. Yeah, Corey Day is definitely the rookie of the year of the Chili Bowl. Timothy says that he is for the single lug because you don't have to worry about a stupid penalty and suspension for a crew chief. No, there'll just be much bigger problems with the single lug, like when the wheel just falls off completely instead of just a lug nut. Is the Chili Bowl held at Eldora? No, Chili Bowl is indoor at the Tulsa Expo Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tim from Australia. Hi, Tim. I bet Carson wishes he was there as our new track in Sydney has been delayed and he's been here in OZ for our season. Yeah, and there's been a bunch of rainouts or something. I feel like I keep seeing him talking about how every time they go to try to race at Archer Field or somewhere that it's raining out. Ryan Timms was a little underwhelming this year. Not really. His prelim night didn't quite go how he needed it to go, and that's kind of screwed his whole week, I think. What got me into dirt racing? Well, the first races I ever went to as a kid were actually dirt races. My dad was a dirt racer. My dad's from South Dakota. He was a dirt racer. And then, just being around motorsports, like dirt racing is obviously something you're aware of. But like I kind of came up and grew up as a pavement fan and obviously have worked in NASCAR for a long time and about dirt racing, but getting the opportunity to go to work for the World of Outlaws in 2013 is really kind of what kicked it all off. But come on guys, can you really count like a full season and like trying to say Larson's run a full wing season before because he was a California champion? Like, how many races is that? Like 20 or 30? Who wins Woo Late Model Rookie of the Year? Who has the best shot of making it the entire season? Ooh, probably Max Blair. I feel like Max is the easy pick there. Biggest disappointment of the 2022 Chili Bowl. Ooh, that's a tough one. It's hard to say disappointed because these races are just so difficult. I mean, like any stupid, like you're in a heat race or a qualifier or something on your prelim night and something bad happens in front of you and you get caught up and you're just screwed. I mean, can we talk about Matt Wood Racing for God's sake? Like those guys bring great stuff every single year and have horrifically bad luck. Have I ever been to Mitchell, South Dakota? I don't think so. My dad's from Yankton. GJ from Alberta. Welcome, Canadian. My wife is a Canadian. What do I think of the Clash race coming up in LA? Demo Derby or not? It will probably be a lot of crashing in that race, I would guess. I'm kind of mad we're not going to get to go do pit stops in that race. Swindell getting a bum call. Did he really get a bum call, though? I kind of agree with that call a little bit. It was the last lap of that race, and they were racing for a transfer spot. Like, you can't be wiping people out for a transfer spot. You guys are really, really politicking hard here for Larson being a top 5 wing driver. Larson isn't even a full-time wing driver right now. He's a cup driver that comes and races dirt once in a while. Do I think gravel will ever win a Chili Bowl? I do not. Am I ever doing anything at the California Speedway? Do you mean like Auto Club Speedway? Because yes, I will be out there changing tires. Zeb Wise is very underrated. Yeah, Zeb, like, he'll get to the point where people know where he is, who he is. Like, he's just so young still. I mean, he's what, 18, 19 years old? I've never been into any racetracks in South Dakota. I haven't been to South Dakota since I was like a kid. Sammy had priors and was on secret probation. I love that one. Do I think gravel will get a Woo championship? I don't know. I don't know about gravel. I love gravel too. I'm a big gravel fan. He's a good dude. He's a hell of a race car driver. But you got to remember, you got to do it every single night for a full season. What team do I change tires for? The 43 car. Eric Jones. Tyler says, per Mav TV, 10 to 12 minutes until driver intros. Oh, where did my dad race? I'm not sure where my dad raced. I'm sure the tracks don't exist anymore. If you go look at my... I think on my Instagram account, I have pictures of my dad with his old dirt car. I would have to text him and find out. Should they spray PJ1 to control the dust in the Coliseum? Can we ever get a Hard Knocks for Woo? I would love that. Like Formula One style, like in a Netflix show. Absolutely, I would be all for that. Drive to Survive World of Outlaws. I would be here for that big time. There would be no lack of content either with, what, 80 plus races. Does my wife have a career in motorsports also? No, she does not. My wife doesn't give two you-know-whats about racing. My wife has her master's degree in creative writing. She's written a novel, was a high school English teacher for a long time. She teaches college. Thoughts on the crazy amount of GoPros on all the cars at the Chili Bowl this year? I mean, you've seen that for the last few years at least. You know, guys kind of having their cars covered in GoPros. We're kind of at a point where everybody has YouTube channels and TikTok accounts and Facebook accounts, and those videos always do well. So it's not surprising that there are so many on those cars. I do have iRacing, Alex asks me. I don't do a ton of dirt racing. I've been doing a lot of road racing, and actually just got my first sim rig. I've been using just my desk with a steering wheel, but just on the other side of this camera, I bought my first sim rig like literally a week ago. Do I have a Justin Jr.? I do, actually. I have an 8-year-old son. We were at his basketball game today. A Drive to Survive for... Yes, it would. I would agree. Have I watched the Knoxville documentary about Sheldon? I have. Best state for dirt racing. That feels like you're just trying to get me to start a fight in here. Do you think this is the best track in recent years? Are we talking about Chili Bowl track? I feel like we can't really make a judgment about that until we've seen the feature. I mean, the tracks for the prelim nights have all been fantastic. You had that issue, a little bit of an issue on Monday where Tanner Carrick was basically down to a bald tire at the end of that feature, but we've seen some really great racing. Do I like big block modifieds? I do like big block modifieds. I think big block modifieds might be like the nicest race cars you'll ever see in your life too. Did you break your live stream record? Oh yeah, by far. The last time I did a live stream, I think I had like 25 or 30 people. We're way past that. See, now people are mad in the chat about states. Ohio, Pennsylvania, Carolinas are the best for super late models. Are you a sprint or late model guy? I'm neither. I'm just a race fan. I like sprint cars, late models, midgets, modifieds, pavement racing, road racing, dirt racing, drag. I don't care. I'll watch it all. What's your outlook on the clash at the LA Coliseum? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what that track looks like when it's complete and everything. It's going to be very, very tight. I can tell you that for sure. We're packing the track right now. Brady Bacon being interviewed behind me. The state of the union for dirt racing post-pandemic. I mean, dirt racing has been on the rise for a while, and I don't think the pandemic has really slowed that down at all. How many cars does Keith have in the feature? Keith has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5? Looks like 5. What is my home track? I don't really know that I have a home track. I'm from Southern Oregon. I was born in Southern Oregon, and then I went to school in Portland. Dirt racing isn't super big out there. There's a few places, Willamette, Banks. When I was a kid, we had Southern Oregon Speedway and Medford. Like the first dirt track I ever went to was at Medford Speedway, but Medford Speedway doesn't exist anymore. Tony Stewart is not working the track this year at the Chili Bowl. It's been a few years since Tony did that. Where's my home base? I'm in North Carolina right now. I live actually just a few miles from the Charlotte Motor Speedway. What's going on in here? Flow Racing says. Hi, Flow Racing. We're just hanging out. Who impressed me the most this week at the Chili Bowl? I mean, the young guys. I mean, we talked about the young guys earlier. I mean, Brent Cruz looked fantastic on his prelim night before things went sideways. I mean, Corey Day making the feature. I mean, like, come on. Like, that's been amazing. Yeah, 5 for KKM in the main. Do you watch Tanner Holmes? He is from Oregon. I do watch Tanner Holmes, and I've had Tanner Holmes on my DIRTRACKR Conversations episode. If you don't know about Tanner, go check him out. Yep, Cottage Grove also. I love this. We've had appearances by Flow Racing and Petty GMS in the chat. We're doing big things over here, people. And since Flo is in here, tell all the people they did a great job this week. And is it today Rigsby's birthday, or was it yesterday? Happy birthday, Michael Rigsby. George from Prescott, Arizona. Hi, George. Could we ever see online app-based sports betting in Woo? I definitely think that's possible. Maybe not like on an app, but maybe at the racetrack. What are your thoughts on the Eldora Million? I mean, how can you not be anything but excited for the Eldora Million? Seeing Days in Pursley was amazing. I forgot to mention that. I should have wrote that down in my notes. He looked amazing. It was super cool to see Days walking around. Did you put out your pick for tonight's winner? Well, earlier in the week when I did my pre-show, I picked Buddy. I'm back and forth between Buddy and Bell for my pick for tonight. Southern Oregon Speedway is back in 2022. Is it back? I feel like Tanner did a video where they went and walked around kind of the defunct Southern Oregon Speedway. Miles says, found your account while trying to watch an illegal stream of the Chili Bowl. Welcome, Miles. Like and subscribe. Yeah, you know the camping passes and the tickets for those Eldora races are always going to be difficult to come by for those big events. Still doing track packing over on Mav TV Plus. More people saying that Mav TV is free right now, so if you'd like to watch, might be able to still be able to do that for free. How many of you in the chat have been to the Chili Bowl? Have you guys gone? If you haven't gone, you have to go at some point. Like, the Chili Bowl is like a bucket list event. Like, where else do you get a collection like that of drivers? NASCAR guys, IndyCar guys, sprint car, midgets. You had late model guys. You had McCready and Ricky Thornton Jr. I mean, just like, you know, we've talked about on the Daily Show, Roman Grosjean talking about wanting to race Chili Bowl in BC 39. Like, you got to go. Like, get a pit pass, go hang out, BYOB, walk around. It is, Chili Bowl is up there. Like, if you are a racing fan, you have got to find your way to the Chili Bowl. Where does Kaylee start? Kaylee starts 12th? Yeah, Kaylee starts 12th. Been to 25 different tracks, none east of Las Vegas, Nevada, or north of Chico, California. Wow, JD, that's a lot of tracks in one very small area. Yeah, a couple of those guys had not great crashes this week. Chase's wasn't great. Obviously, the issues with Santino Ferrucci. Connor Daly had a big one. But yeah, the Chili Bowl, you got to go. Just, I mean, even if you can't get a ticket, just go and buy a pit pass. It's a little chilly in Tulsa because it's January, but it is good. The furthest back to win the A, well, the furthest back that I have in the database is 16th. And I think that was McCready. I think McCready came from 16th, if I remember correctly. I can go look because I have that information on my website. Let's go find out. Are there any other events in your mind that stack up to Chili Bowl, dirt, pavement, etc.? It's tough because Chili Bowl is a week. Like, where else do you have, like, I mean, like, can you talk about Daytona 500, but, like, I don't know, like, what else do people just go to every day for a week like that? I don't know. I feel like the Chili Bowl is unique. Maybe Knoxville? Let's go find McCready's win here. McCready. No, McCready won from 10th. I don't know who won from 16th. I'll have to go digging around for that one. Yeah, it snowed today in Tulsa. Not surprising. I've been in Tulsa when it snowed for the Chili Bowl. Praying the power stays on here in North Carolina. Yeah, for sure. We're expecting snow, ice, all kinds of things here in North Carolina tomorrow. What do I think about Flo's agreement with NASCAR? I mean, that's fantastic. I'm a Flo subscriber. So if there's more racing that's going to be available to watch, I'm here for it. And hopefully some of, like, and we've talked about this before, like the crossover stuff. Like, hopefully the dirt fans will jump in and watch some of the NASCAR stuff. Hopefully the NASCAR people will come in and watch some of the dirt stuff, and we just get to grow both fan bases. Yeah, JD, I agree with you about the pit pass versus the sitting in the stands. But when you're talking about the Chili Bowl, like, unless you're going to get a reserve seat, which is incredibly difficult to do, the next best thing you have is to get a pit pass. And there are ways to actually see the racing with a pit pass inside the Chili Bowl. They've got the big deck you can go up. You can watch on the ramp. So you can still watch, even if you don't have a reserve seat. My goal for this year is to stay for the entire 24 hours of Daytona. Me and my brother have talked about renting a motorhome and going to Daytona one year. We haven't done it yet, but I really would like to. Yes, I'm in North Carolina. I'm just outside Charlotte. Am I surprised with CB's lackluster Chili Bowl? I am surprised with CB's lackluster Chili Bowl. Those guys are always so good inside the building. They were definitely off this year. And I know Sammy said that they tried some stuff for the Virox, so I don't know if that got them off. Not sure. Team is taking selfies with Kaylee. Who's my pick to win? Bell and Kofoid. Greg says Rico wins tonight. Oh, see, Mike. He says to do the 24, it was a blast with the toter home. I would love to do that. I would also like to pit the 24 hours. I'd like to pit the 24 hours, and I would like to pit the Indy 500 at some point. Yeah, for sure, Ryan. One mistake was all it took for CV. Looks like we're just getting ready for driver intros. They've got the big blow-up tunnel. The lights are still on, though. So it'll be hopefully not too much longer before we're racing inside the building. So who all made the A-Main? The A-Main is Christopher Bell, Tanner Thorson, Rico Abreu, Justin Grant, Michael Kofoid, Tanner Carrick, Kyle Larson, Kevin Thomas Jr., Tyler Courtney, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. That's your top 10. Those are the guys that are in the poll shuffle. Then Zeb Wise, Kaylee Bryson, T. Mez, Blake Holland, Colby Copeland, CJ Leary, Chris Wyndham, Shane Golobic, Chase Johnson, Corey Day, Tim Buckwalter, Dylan Welch, Brady Bacon, Jonathan Beeson, your B-Main transfers. We were too drunk to do anything, so we had a pizza delivered. Nice. Yeah, that like kind of one time a year at the Chili Bowl thing, I think is an interesting dynamic. We talked about that with the Passing Points guys on that Conversations episode we did last week. There's no way to like practice for the Chili Bowl outside of being at the Chili Bowl. And it's like, that's why the Chili Bowl is so difficult. It's like one little thing you get behind on your prelim night and your week is killed. And that's like what we were talking about with Ryan Timms. I love that there's like 4 different conversations going on in the chat right now. It's amazing. Not quite to driver intros yet. Larson on his phone. Yeah, I just don't see that the entire Chili Bowl will be on Flow Racing. This later Saturday portion has been on Mav TV, has been on live TV for a long time, and I just don't think that that's going to change. As much as we love Flow. Couple of tidbits that I tweeted out earlier. We had multiple leaders every night of the prelims. We had 2 first-time prelim night winners in Tanner Carrick and Buddy Kofoid. The hard chargers this week were plus 13, plus 13, plus 8, plus 16, and plus 14, so lots of passing. The prelim night winner started 4th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and 3rd, so it didn't pay to start on the pole. Prelim night car counts 69, 73, 79, 78, 82. That's a lot of cars. With the Tulsa and St. Louis, could you see a series develop on indoor? I don't know that there's enough buildings to do an indoor. Unless you're going to start taking over like football stadiums like Gateway does. It would be cool though, like if you could do something like Supercross. All the drivers have moved into the infield now, so we'll be into driver intros here pretty quickly. It's wild how good all of the NOS energy drink drivers are, for sure. There's a lot of them, though. Bye, Greg. Thanks for tuning in, guy. Yeah, Kaylee is definitely going to be the story of this one for a long time. Getting that B-main win, first female to jump into the Chili Bowl feature. Like I said, even if she finishes 24th tonight, she did great. Flo picking Kyle Larson, not shocking, with Flo logos all over Kyle's car. Larson on a motorcycle? He'd probably win on that stuff too. 9:58 Mountain Time. Is this live? You mean, am I live? I'm live. Map TV is live. They're interviewing Christopher Bell. The pole shuffle draw may have decided this race. If Kofoid starts row 1 and Bell is row 3, this is probably completely different. Hope I'm wrong. You're not wrong. I mean, it's obviously important to have a good start like we talked about earlier. I mean, most of the Chili Bowl wins are going to come from the top 4 positions. Is this Sammy's last Chili Bowl? I don't think so. I'm sure Sammy will keep coming back until he physically can't do it anymore. I think we need to see like Larson and like Tony Stewart. Like we need to get like a group of guys together like that and just have them run like UMP modifieds, big block mods, like have them go up into the Northeast and you know, race with the Super Dirt Car Series, you know, have them go and run, you know, IMCA modifieds or, you know, whatever. I mean, like let's just get them to race anything. I would be here for all of that. Ooh, the lights just went out. With all the teams growing, I know you talked about it this week, but should teams be limited on cars? Oh, you mean like this is the Keith Coons question. Like if teams should be allowed to bring so many cars to the Chili Bowl. I don't care how many cars people bring to the Chili Bowl. I have no problem with Keith bringing 15 cars. Thanks, 428. Appreciate it. Yeah, 55 laps is a lot of laps inside the Chili Bowl, for sure. How many years do you think it would take Larson to win an F1 championship, given he's in a competitive car? I mean, yeah, Larson would have to be in the Mercedes or in the Red Bull to like win a championship. I would say at least a few. If he could do it, it would be a few. He certainly has the commitment. He certainly is aggressive like you need to be aggressive. The issue that I have with somebody like Larson going over there and doing that is like those kids are like groomed from the time that they are small babies, I feel like, to do well in that. And Larson just doesn't quite have that like depth of experience in terms of the road racing. They will have to wreck Seabell to beat him. I hope they don't wreck Seabell. Can't believe no one streamed the national anthem earlier today or the Parade of States. I think that kind of happened in that like downtime in between the broadcasts switching over. Could he win in the McLaren? I don't think he could win in the McLaren. I like Buckwalter. Buckwalter's not a bad pick for a dark horse here. Here we go, into driver intros. Dylan Welch on the stage currently with Emmett Hahn. Would like to see Larson test an IndyCar, for sure. I would not be surprised if at some point Larson didn't run the Indy 500. I feel like there's enough people that want to see that happen that would happen. Surprised Tony Stewart doesn't run the Chili Bowl anymore. I can see why he doesn't run the Chili Bowl anymore. Everybody, say bye to Flo. Thank Flo. Thank them for stopping by. They do a great job. Thanks, Flo. Appreciate you. Maybe Tony Stewart puts him in a top fuel dragster. Am I going to stream during the race too? I'm not going to stream during the race. Once we get, once things get going, I'm going to duck out. Because I want to watch the race also. Yeah, Tony Stewart has a lot of stuff going on. You figure between his involvement with the Cup team, he's got Donnie Schatz in a sprint car. He's got his own sprint car, which he's technically putting on the shelf. He's got the All-Stars. He's got Eldora. Now he's got NHRA. Tony's a busy guy. SRX. Still working through driver intros on the stage. What else are you guys looking forward to this year? What races, what tracks, where are you going? What trips you got planned? Who has more jobs, Tony Stewart or Justin? Probably Tony Stewart. I really only technically have sort of one job. This isn't, like, DIRTRACKR's not really a job. And I don't work for World Racing Group anymore. How often do I live stream? Not as often as I should, apparently. I did a few watch parties during the season, but... All-Star Circuit of Champions at Sonoya. That'll be a good one. They've done good things at Sonoya. Watching Flo on the boat fishing? I'm sorry, Hebrew Hillbilly. I'm not going to talk about drag racing on here. I love drag racing. Don't get me wrong. I drag raced myself. I've been to several national events. Didn't Tony Stewart start last and win a Chili Bowl? I don't think Tony Stewart started last in his Chili Bowl wins. Tony won in 2002. He started 4th. And Tony won in 2007 and started 5th. I love it. You guys got some good stuff planned. Indy 500, Lima Land for Ohio Speed Week, Knoxville, Ironman 55, Blake Hahn on the stage on Mav TV. Oh, here's Timez. Timez is excited to be in the field. I love it. Hopefully we get a show out of Timez tonight. Here she is. Kaylee Bryson coming up on the stage. Historic moment, folks. I love it. Good moment for her. Big fan. XR Super Series at the Dirt Track at Las Vegas. Hopefully make a few woo shows. Oh, my experience drag racing? I mean, I was a bracket racer. I wasn't running like pro stock or a fuel car or anything. Yeah, I had I actually still have it. I have a 75 Malibu with a 350. And I won twice. I have 2 drag racing wins in my career. But I haven't drag raced since I was like 17 or 18 years old. Love to make it to a King's Royal. Eldora, Atomic, Florence, and Lawrenceburg. Tom, that's some good tracks to go to. I'm not going to turn the signal lug the wrong way. Don't worry. I'm actually changing hands, too. I've been changing tires right-handed. Now I'm going to change tires left-handed. Drag racers are definitely a different breed. You're strapping yourself to, what, a 10,000 horsepower car? Sunshine on the stage. Getting pretty close into the top 10 here now with Sunshine on here. Well, I appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, if this is your first time, like and subscribe. We do this all the time, Monday through Friday, daily shows, conversations episodes, DIRTRACKR.com. You can follow DIRTRACKR on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Love how Mav is using Blake Anderson instead of their own announcers. Well, I mean, Blake is going to do the stage. It's not surprising that they're using him. Because you'd end up having 2 announcers kind of like competing with each other if they used a different one. Because Flo did the same thing. Flo kind of had their own guys because Blake is on the PA, but they switched over to Blake for a lot of the victory lane stuff. Yeah, the Chili Bowl announcers that's a solid group of guys that do the PA stuff inside the Chili Bowl. And if you don't know Blake, check out his show over on Flow Racing. He has Anderson 410. He does a great job over there. Blake is a buddy of mine. Actually, me and Blake worked together at Water Racing Group many years ago. I've known Blake a long time. Tanner Carrick coming up on the stage. Just about to the top 5. I think once we get done with intros here, we'll probably start to wrap this thing up. Did I see the pictures of the skewed 43 from the Daytona test? I certainly did. That was actually, I think, the 42 guys that had did that to the 43, because I think Ty was in the car that day. Yep, Tony Bachhoven, Brian Holbert, Blake. Those guys do a really nice job inside the arena. Hebrew Hillbilly says, I think it's important for fans to support all forms of racing in these times. I agree with you. I don't like the sprint car versus late model, dirt versus pavement. I don't like any of that. Was I at the Daytona test? I was not at the Daytona test. The only test I've literally been to in my entire career was when we did the Charlotte test a couple of months ago, where we literally did pit stops at the test. That's the only time I've ever been at a test. I like pitting race cars. I have no desire to work on race cars. Rico just coming off the stage. Tanner Thorson next up. And then our pole sitter, Christopher Bell. It would be awesome to have the Outlaws back at Bristol. The Outlaws are coming back to Bristol this year. Yes, Living Missouri. If you are out and about tonight at a party, if you're watching the Chili Bowl, please be safe driving home. I agree. Thanks, Denny. Appreciate you, man. Bell being brought up onto the stage. All right, one last time for whoever's left in here. Who's your pick? Give it to me right now. Hop in the chat. Tell me who you're picking to win tonight. Jose! Welcome, Jose. How was the shootout? All right, Grant, Bell, Rico, Bell, Wise, Kofoid, Sunshine. Buddy Kofoid. I love it. Kofoid, Thorson, Larson. Miles says he wants KTJ, but he thinks it'll be Grant. All great picks. All right, kids. Well, I'm going to shut it down. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. This was really fun. We'll try to do it again. Appreciate everybody that tuned in. Like and subscribe. Visit DIRTRACKR.com. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you on Monday for Dirt Tracker Daily. Thanks for tuning in.